Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Talks to Go. Happy Wednesday. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
For a Wednesday.
For a Wednesday.
Bright and clear and cold and
sunny
windy.
Skies.
Yeah.
But sunny skies.
We will take it.
That's all we can hope for. I mean, the weather's been absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I cannot wait for winter to be over. I got to tell you, the older I get,
the more you struggle.
I hate. It's not so much struggle.
Yeah.
But the more I hate
winter.
But
you know what? I love a good, pretty, snowy day. The only thing I don't like is when the snow plowers come in and they just absolutely ruin it. And then it looks ugly immediately. And I can't live in my winter wonderland fantasy that much.
I am well past that. I've had it. I've just had it.
Wait, pause. Look at him.
What are you doing?
He wants his toy. Please hold. Pardon the interruption. Our dog wants a toy. This is way more important than us. He just wants a toy. Okay. Let's see which one he got his Snoopy. He thinks it's playtime. After he eats, he thinks it's playtime.
We're
but
back.
Sorry for him, it's not.
We're back.
Okay, we're back. So, enough about the winter chat then. But this past week was Valentine's Day. Did you have a nice Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it was nice. We went out to a dinner.
Yep, we did.
You, your mom, and I at a local restaurant here in northern New Jersey. We enjoyed it.
Yep.
And
you got me and mom some lovely earrings, which I'm very appreciative of.
I tried.
Yeah, with a little bit of my help. Just a little
bit.
A little bit of assistance. You know, you can never not ask for assistance.
But you have to give me an A for effort, I would think.
You did.
Okay.
A for effort, 100%. And
good.
you got 5 marks all around.
Wow. Okay, I will take it.
I mean, mom was happy with her choice. I was initially confused by my choice, but then, I've worn them a couple times now, and
You came around.
I did come around, and Valentine's Day was only on Friday, so you did well for yourself.
And here's the deal. So we finished dinner early enough so that we could get home and watch the Saturday Night Live. In fact, this was a Saturday Night Live weekend.
Yeah, that's
the celebration of the 50th anniversary of SNL.
The 3 letters on anyone's lips over the past couple weeks has been SNL.
SNL. Right? So it started off for us and for everybody, I should say, with the Friday night concert.
Music concert extravaganza.
Give me your initial impressions.
So my initial impressions was the first half was better than the second half, and the performances that stuck out to me were Miley Cyrus, Mumford and Sons, love them. Also, didn't know the lead singer was British, and I'm just even more obsessed with him.
Yeah, for some reason, I thought they were an American group.
I'm adding him to my list of British men that I love.
Desirable Brits.
Yeah, but he's not desirable because he's married.
Well, he could still be desirable.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. And he is very much
desirable. He may not be available, but
Correct.
He can still be desirable.
He's not available.
Okay. All right.
He's married.
He's off the market, as they say.
Very much off the market.
All
but
right.
That's okay. And I'm trying to think which ones. Lady Gaga, always incredible. She can never do no wrong.
Yep.
And other than that, I don't know. There were just so many things. My brain is trying to
there's one that stuck out for me.
Oh, also I think the Will Ferrell, Anna Gasteyer. I don't want to pronounce her name wrong. It's like Gasteyer or Gasteyer. I don't want to say it wrong, but
Anna G. We'll call her Anna G.
The SNL cast member, and Will Ferrell. Man, she has pipes.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I mean, obviously, I wasn't really alive during her prime on SNL, and neither was I.
I think you may have been alive, but you certainly weren't old enough.
Right, I wasn't
to
old
watch.
enough to comprehend or watch SNL, but man, she can sing. I mean, she is very talented, and their little mashup on the piano was really funny. So yeah, I think those were my favorite bits from the performance.
Yeah, the one that stuck out for me, And I agree with you. The ones I like the best are the ones that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But the one that stuck out for me was David Byrne with Arcade 5.
Fire.
A Fire. Okay, Arcade Fire.
But not stuck out to you in a good way.
No.
It was horrendous.
And you know what? I will admit that my musical tastes aren't all that sophisticated.
Yeah, but
I will admit that. But wow.
But
I gotta tell you.
people can differentiate good from bad. Hopefully.
And I don't like to look. People express themselves in different ways through fashion, through writing,
every like creative
music.
field.
Obviously, this was through music.
Yeah.
I just don't get where this band was coming from.
It was a rough performance.
And not only that, it went on
and on
and on.
Yeah.
And on and on.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about their performance or the whole show?
I will say I found the Friday night concert to be tedious.
Yeah.
I really did. There were other performances. I didn't dislike them as much as I did Arcade Fire.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, I found it to be a tedious. Was it 3 hours?
Yeah,
I think it was
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
It just didn't do it for me.
Yeah,
Just
fair
didn't.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But I found the most funny part to be when Snoop Dogg came on stage, and there's just a bunch of like old white men trying to bounce in the audience.
Yeah, I will say
and,
this.
like vibe with Snoop on stage.
Jerry Seinfeld, you know how much I love Jerry Seinfeld as a comedian?
Yeah.
But Jerry, and I'd love to have you on the podcast with your daughter.
But you bounce like that too.
But no, I think I've got more. I'm sorry. I think I've got better and more rhythm than Jerry.
Yeah, but you have dad moves.
I may have dad moves, but I think I'm more rhythmic. All right,
Okay.
I will give myself
But
that much credit.
It wasn't just Jerry. Like there were a lot of people out there that could not vibe with Snoop or a lot of the performances.
Yeah.
But you bringing up Jerry reminds me. Also, I did enjoy the Backstreet Boys reunion performance. I thought it was good.
Yeah, and there too, I thought as a group, they sounded good. But some of the solo performances.
Yikes.
Just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Just was not there.
Yeah, look.
Look, a lot of these artists, because I think what they tried to do was to span a good chunk of the 50 years.
Yeah.
It's tough. You know, a lot of people, there are very few singers, very few, who sound as good in their 70s and some of them
when
now
they were
in their
prime
80s as they were in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Hey, it happens. We age and things deteriorate.
Vocal cords
and sometimes
deteriorate.
the vocal cords that go, some hold on. I will say this, that recently, and this has got nothing to do with Saturday Night Live, I have seen a couple of videos on Instagram of Tom Jones, who I think is 83.
Who dat?
Check him out.
Okay.
And Tom Jones in his prime. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my opinion. Incredible voice, incredible entertainer, incredible performer. Now even at 84.
Yeah, still amazing.
I'm not saying he sounds as good as when he was in his 20s, but he can do it. He can do it even he was a judge on the British version of The Voice, and some of his fellow judges were amazed,
yeah,
aghast. They could not believe it. Jennifer Hudson was wide-eyed about his performance.
Yeah.
So, but again, they're very few and far between. Yeah.
All right, I'll have to check them out.
Yeah.
All right, then should we move on to Sunday's?
Yeah, we can go past Saturday night, where they replayed the very first episode of Saturday Night Live, which was kind of interesting for those people who
Did you watch it?
Did I watch Saturday Night?
Yeah.
I watched some of it, but I found... Here's the deal, and we'll get into this a little bit when we talk about Sunday night as well. And this is something that I've always felt about Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. It's not funny.
Well...
Few and far between.
Look, they had their funny periods. They had better
Who do you think, like, if you could pick an SNL All-Star cast, who would be on your SNL All-Star cast?
I think you got to put Belushi there. I think you have to put Chevy Chase there.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. Gilda Radner. I'm going back to a lot of the original cast members.
See, I don't know them.
You don't know
as well,
them. Yeah.
So I would have like a different lineup.
Shane Curtin, Aykroyd, some of the latter day people. Oh, Dana Carvey. Okay,
that's not latter.
But it's beyond the original.
Okay, but that's still.
But what I was going to say, even back then, I found some of the sketches to be too long. They don't know when to stop.
Yeah, but they also have to fill time.
I get that. I totally understand that, and I appreciate that. But there's got to be a certain point at which you've got to say, okay, we get it. It was
like
funny.
You hit the climax of the joke, and then it just drags.
And then there are diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt that way for the original, and I even felt that way for the big Sunday. Now, I will say this.
It exceeded your expectations.
I was...
honestly, to be fair, my expectations were on the floor, too.
Mine were very low for Sunday night.
I know they were super low for you.
Very low. I was not expecting a lot. I didn't expect to make it through the 3+ hours.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
Yeah.
And to Lorne Michaels' credit, because he was the executive producer, I give him tremendous kudos.
Yeah.
He held my attention for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I thought it was
It was well done.
Very well done,
For
very
sure.
well produced.
For sure.
There was enough variety. They got God knows how many different celebs involved in it, whether they were, asking questions from the audience, which we know was a setup, or whether they were involved in skits.
What was your favorite bit from the night? Favorite sketch or segment from the Saturday Night Live anniversary?
I did like when they were asking, when celebs got up from the audience, and I liked it for one reason.
Yeah.
And I would very much love the opportunity.
Shots.
Well, Kevin Costner's reactions.
Yeah, but
now,
even to that one sketch where they had the Times Square,
the M&M,
the Times Square characters.
Yeah. I think he didn't know what to do.
Well, General Ortega was sitting there too, next to Kevin Costner.
Yeah, but I was, and then I've seen some follow-ups today on social media about some of the looks he was giving to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
I want to get your opinion on that. Because there's been some discourse online about, because this has obviously been their first really
public appearance.
If you could make any public appearance, this is a huge one.
Right.
You got the A-list of the A-list of the A-list showing up to this event, and they make their first red carpet debut since all of this crazy stuff has gone down.
What we're talking about is the Blake Lively, Justin
It Ends
Baldoni
With Us discourse.
Kerfuffle.
Do you think it was tone deaf of them to show up? Everyone thinks that, Ryan and Blake's PR agent hit up SNL and was like, hey, in this segment, we want to be included and we want you to bring this up to save face and whatever. Do you...
So I don't know if I would consider it tone deaf. Look, they are entitled to live their lives.
Yeah.
Who's it for me? Why should they have to, crawl into a cave? No,
of course not.
Now,
but
Justin Baldoni wasn't there. He probably wasn't invited.
No, he wasn't invited.
Okay. But I had no problem with them being there. Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
I mean, a lot of people are going to obviously say it's super, because obviously in this whole thing, you have a lot of people that are team Baldoni, and then you have a lot of people that are team Blake, and some that do not like both, and some that, aren't picking sides. So it's a very topical, controversial public battle that is going on right now. So a lot of people are going to say, oh my God, they're being desperate, showing up to SNL.
I didn't see it as that.
Yeah.
And like I said, virtually anybody who's anybody in show business. Now, here's the thing I was thinking as well. If you're a quote unquote celebrity.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you feeling if you're sitting at home watching this and you were not among those who were invited? I thought about that. Now,
I'm sure there were people who
obviously there are who
felt they should have gotten an invite and didn't,
and felt slighted.
Well, also, the BAFTAs were the other night, the same night as the SNL. And I'm sure there were some people at the BAFTAs who would have been at the SNL event, which is like Ariana Grande and Timothée Chalamet, who are very big
Now,
SNL personalities.
I'll ask you this because they take up a lot of space on our podcast. Do you think there's a particular reason why
Yeah.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were not there?
Okay, so I have been seeing this headline pop up.
And let me stop you there. The only reason I'm asking is she has been on Saturday Night
And
Live.
a lot of her friends were there.
On a number of occasions. She's friends with
Blake and Ryan
Lively.
were there.
Travis Kelce
Sabrina Carpenter was there.
Was one of the athletes over the years who has hosted.
Yep.
So that's why I'm asking, not just because they are who they are now
No,
in this
I know.
place and time.
I know.
But
But
because
she's also-
because they did have an affiliation with the show.
Yeah, of course.
So
and she
why
was
were-
at the 40th anniversary.
Now, is it possible she's not on tour? His season is over. So there are very few excuses as to why they could not be there. So why do you think they weren't?
Maybe they. I don't know.
I cannot believe that they were not invited.
I don't.
I find that
Okay,
difficult to believe.
So I've been seeing on social media that apparently there's like a feud going on between Taylor and Lorne Michaels.
Really?
Supposedly.
Over what?
I don't know. I just keep seeing this headline that there's bad blood between the two of them.
Really?
Pun intended.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's a fake headline. I don't know if it's AI generated or whatever. But I've been seeing that. But I don't know. Maybe they didn't want that to be like their first public appearance together.
It wouldn't be their first public appearance. Come on.
Like red carpet. I mean, they didn't have to walk the red carpet if
Right.
they didn't want to
Yeah.
together. I don't know. It is a big question mark, obviously, because Taylor has hosted and been the musical guest a numerous amount of times.
Look, and I don't think
I don't know.
Look, without question, right now, she's the most recognizable
Figure.
entertainment
100%.
figure on the planet.
And so was he.
But
So was he.
Because you had so many luminaries there, I don't think she would have overwhelmed the festivities.
No, and I don't think she would be thinking about that like, oh, I'm the biggest star. I'm gonna be taking over the room.
I don't think that's where her head is at. I really don't.
No, it is a good question of, why weren't they there? Because Sabrina was there, one of her closest friends, Blake and Ryan, but I don't know. Obviously, there's headlines.
Here's another
there's
one.
headlines if Taylor and Blake are going through their own feud right now. So I don't know.
I just thought of another one. Now, again, her heyday is past. I get it. But Madonna.
I don't know much about
I wonder
Madonna.
if Madonna was ever. I gotta believe she was a musical guest.
And
at
I think
some point.
I think she hosted and was a musical
I would
guest
think
at the
so.
same time.
So there's another one. She's sitting at home. Why?
Well, I'm also thinking like people. So how SNL did that 4-part documentary.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, oh, there were people who were in that documentary that weren't at the thing last night. Like apparently Bill Hader,
Right.
big SNL personality, he wasn't there, and there's been talks online that he had a very
Falling out. He had a falling out.
yeah, there was like a bad
with Lorne Michaels.
There was a very bad split when he left SNL.
I'm sure some of those existed. Yeah.
But he was in the documentary, and then you also have Billie Eilish, who's been on countless
True,
of times.
there's another one,
Has
yeah.
a good relationship with Lorne, and there's also Dua Lipa.
But wait, I think she's on. Isn't Billie Eilish on tour?
No.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she is on tour.
Yeah, and overseas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's the reason for that one.
Yeah, so but I'm thinking like
Here's
Billie,
another one.
Olivia Rodrigo, Dua Lipa.
One other athlete. Now his brother was there, but I don't think he was, and that's
Yeah.
Eli Manning. And
Yeah.
Peyton had a fairly significant presence last night.
Yeah.
He did, or I should say, on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with this. It's like, it's similar to these star-studded events because you have to think about it too. Like, the priority of people who are being invited to this event are the cast members and the crew. And then you have like the sprinkle in of celebrities. And some of them were super random, but some of them, I guess, made sense. So you just have to think about like, what are they thinking when they're making the guest list? And it's like, oh, okay, we want to include this person, and are they like over inviting in case someone can't come? Like, I would just be so curious to be a fly on the wall.
And obviously Studio 8H, where they held this thing,
it's so small.
The seating capacity was limited.
Well, they also said, and I don't know if this is true, but they put people in Studio 8G next door,
the overflow room, so to speak,
to like watch it. Like, think about for like any award show, right? They have the people,
and the writers were across the street in the rain, right? That was funny.
That was really funny. They have like the primary invites for like the Golden Globes or the Oscars or whatever, and then they have the secondary invites who are put in another room and are watching it from a live stream. So I wonder if it was a similar situation, because like you said, Studio 8H, where they film SNL, is so tiny. So I'm just so curious what those conversations are like. Oh, like we have to put, Blake and Ryan here, but that means we have to bump, someone else to the next room over. It's just, I'd be very curious.
Now, here was a weird personal thing for me. And it just happened like in a flash, right? There was one particular sketch, and don't ask me which one it is because I don't remember now.
I'll remember.
I think it was the one that occurred during the 70s.
The old timer one, like the graveyard in the snow.
No. It's the one where they were doing the bit. No, not the where they did something from each one of the decades.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And there.
John Mulaney's musical.
Yes. And there was one particular scene where there was a guy, and I went, wait a second. I had to really think this was weird. Is that me? And the only reason I thought that. Wait. Let me go with this.
You're not there.
Hold it. Wait a second. The only reason I thought that, and I caught myself very quickly, is because in the early 90s, I was doing a fair amount of extra work, being background, and I was in a half a dozen.
Are you about to tell me you've been to SNL?
Wait a second. Wait, no. Well, here's the thing. So I was in half a dozen episodes of Law and Order. We did a reaction thing to one of them.
Yeah.
I was in a handful of movies. And then I'm thinking, wait a second. Did I ever do Saturday? And I caught myself like instantaneously. I said, no, I never did Saturday Night
You
Live.
would remember, and you would have told me.
But the guy, like split second, wow, that kind of looks like the younger me.
I'm like, is there something you need to tell me now?
No. But I'm saying, like I said, I caught myself. So,
yeah.
No,
but yeah, overall, it was a good night, and we both have our hatred. Hatred's strong. Hatred's very strong. Strong dislike for SNL. Obviously, I think there are some hosts that make it better than others, and obviously, there's people who I think are more natural at it than others. Which again just makes it better. But I think last night was an overall success, and I think we both found it highly entertaining and loved Sabrina Carpenter. My favorite moment was the Domingo sketch where they did it and they just brought in Pedro Pascal and they brought in Bad Bunny. You know what I'm talking about, right?
What you mean, yeah.
They extended the Domingo sketch.
I will say this too. I very much enjoyed
Sabrina.
The opening of Sabrina and Sabrina Carpenter.
But she was also so funny in the sketch.
But she was good. But I really enjoyed the fact that they paired. And who would ever think a pairing? Maybe again.
Yeah.
I'll
Sabrina and Paul Simon.
Lauren Michaels, I think, for this one.
Mm-hmm.
A pairing of Sabrina Carpenter and Paul Simon.
Yeah.
In a million years, you would never consider putting those two. And it worked.
Yeah.
I thought it worked very well.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It really was.
You know what's crazy though is that because celebrities run in such small circles, you get a lot of exes in the room. Mm-hmm. People who have history. People who have beef, people who have dated each other. And oh my God, what I would give to be a fly on the wall. Because obviously SNL is where Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson's relationship started. Like they literally had their first kiss on air in a sketch.
Right.
And then you have them together again last night. Pete is looking better than he ever has. He's,
tattoo-less.
He's tattoo-less. He's sober. Like he's just looking great. He just had this new campaign with Reformation. And obviously Kim looks gorgeous and whatnot. And it's been brought up that she might be dating someone. So just to see them in the same, or think that they're in the same room together, fascinating. And then you have Miley Cyrus and Nick Jonas, who were exes in the same room.
Oh, they were? I didn't
They
realize
were
that.
going back into the Disney days. They were exes. Yeah, and obviously, just when you have those celebrities in the room and there's a lot of history, what I would give to know what is happening in
You
that
know who
room.
I just thought wasn't there? And given the fact that we do it,
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should have been invited, but some major podcasters were not there, like Alex Cooper,
No. No, you're not inviting Alex Cooper.
the Oshry sisters.
Dad, shut up. Shut up.
How come Claudia and Jackie weren't there?
Oh my God, please don't.
Okay.
Please don't.
I'm joking.
No.
But look, going back to to the top of our conversation about this again, I was pleasantly surprised that the show was able to keep my attention and hold my attention for 3 plus
Yeah, I
hours.
enjoyed myself watching it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought it was and you know what? It's nice to see when those old cast members come back because I didn't get to watch them in their prime as cast members. Like, I loved Tina Fey and Amy Poehler together, and like I missed watching them. And obviously, Kate McKinnon, like she's one of the best.
Oh,
and having Meryl Streep
That was great.
come in on the sketch and just seeing her like so out of her element and I'm assuming she's hosted.
I didn't get the line on Sunday night when it aired, but I saw a clip this morning.
Yeah.
When Meryl Streep was in that bit, and it's a brilliant line. I don't know whether she ad-libbed it. I don't know whether it was written for her or she wrote it herself. But when she
Both.
said, "The devil wears nada,"
Yeah.
that
Just
was
so good.
That was stellar.
Just so
that
good.
was really good.
I just missed Ryan Gosling from that. Like he is known for that sketch in particular because he's known for breaking
Right.
in that sketch. The only sketch that I thought was kind of a letdown was the Debbie Downer sketch. Like it was good, and I love Rachel Dratch as Debbie Downer, but there was just something magical about that Disney World sketch where everyone was breaking, and that just made it all time more funny. Obviously, when Robert De Niro came in, like that was pretty good, but it just didn't have the same magic as that sketch did with Lindsay Lohan, I thought, personally.
So now we're on to the next 50.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Let me think. Will you be around for
Yeah.
SNL
I-
100?
Trust me, I was thinking about that.
You'd have to live to 125.
Really?
No, I'm
No.
sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Dad.
No, 75.
Yeah.
Oh, you will see it. Maybe I'll see it. I don't know.
Knock on wood.
I continue to believe that I'd have to live another 50 years.
You can do
I
it.
don't know. Maybe I can.
Please stay.
Maybe I can. Maybe I can.
Please stay.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
Do you think Kenan Thompson will still be a cast member for the 100th anniversary?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's going to ride this baby into the sunset.
Like actually though?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Last question. During Weekend Update, which is one of my favorite segments because I have the fattest.
I think it is for a lot of people.
But it's also because I have the fattest crush on Colin Jost.
That's understandable.
I love Colin Jost.
Good-looking guy,
and
smart.
Also
I get
having
it.
ScarJo there and doing some skits, obsessed.
Yeah.
But no, love Colin Jost, and I think him and Michael Che just have really good banter. But Bill Murray came on and he did a ranking of the hosts. So who has been your favorite Weekend Update host?
Well, you got to go back to the original Chevy Chase,
Yeah,
of course.
but I wasn't around for that.
No, you
so.
weren't.
But for you, who was your favorite?
I gotta say, I do like the current. Like the current day guys. I do.
Yeah, especially because they break a lot, and it's very endearing and funny.
I think I like both of them for different reasons. Yeah.
And the weird thing is, I thought Michael Che was leaving SNL.
I do too.
So I was.
Now-
I don't know.
Wait, he was there?
He was there. Yeah.
Hello.
But the funniest part is when Bill Murray was like, "We're gonna rank the top black Weekend Update hosts," and then it's just Michael Che. Really funny.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So overall, a good night, but obviously that means.
Oh, and here's the other thing too. Is
Okay.
think about, before we put a wrap on this,
Okay.
think of this, and
Yeah.
this was the real litmus test for us.
Yep.
Our original plan
That's what I was going to say.
Our viewing
That's
plan.
what I was literally about to say.
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
But you
take it.
You interrupted me.
Take it. Go take it. Go.
So that meant we couldn't watch the season premiere of White Lotus. And we said that if we're not enjoying it by 9:00 when the episode of White Lotus goes live on Max, then we're going to obviously switch it over. And we didn't.
Yeah.
So good on you, SNL, for keeping us entertained.
Lauren, you kept us from White Lotus.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big night. I think a lot of people honestly aren't watching it until Monday. Hadn't watched it until Monday.
White Lotus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch White Lotus. I think by the time we drop this episode, we'll have watched the episode. So I'm excited to see what the third season of White Lotus brings.
For sure.
Yeah. Last thing I want to bring up is there was one sketch that Andy Samberg did a song to about how SNL gives the crew and the writers and the cast anxiety. And during the Part 4 documentary, SNL documentary, I showed you the one episode where they talk about the writing and the schedule that the writers specifically have to follow, because that's who they followed. That would give me anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know for me personally, I would be so unwell if I worked at SNL.
It's a tough job.
It's a tough job. It's not for the weak.
No.
But I'm also like, that's probably why a lot of the sketches stink.
because they're up until 4 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. And that's why they come up with these weird ideas, because they're half delusional.
Here's the thing, too. I think sometimes in your head, or sometimes even if it goes
sounds
to
better.
rehearsal.
Yeah.
And
you think it's funny.
The story I'm about to relate, okay, in no way, shape, or form am I equating it to a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Oh, I'm scared.
No. But the only reason I'm saying is I kind of, again, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I witnessed firsthand how things can go well in rehearsal, and then when you go live,
well, you know what people always say: bad dress rehearsal, good show.
Yeah,
good dress rehearsal, bad show.
Yeah, I will never forget as a kid. Okay, as a kid, I went to a local day camp. All right, and the end of the session would culminate with kind of like an entertainment night, right? And during the day, my friend and I, Barry Bramman, I will never forget this. He was ad-libbing. He was like, I was playing a patient on an operating table, and he was the doctor. And what he was doing was cracking everybody up.
Yep.
Cracking. I mean, everybody was going crazy, right? He said, okay, we hadn't planned on, but this is what we're going to do tonight for the real show. It fell flat as a pancake because you couldn't replicate the ad-libs, the spontaneity. And I think sometimes that's what happens with Saturday Night Live. I really do.
Yeah, no, for sure.
On paper, sometimes even in rehearsal, it sounds good, it works well, and then you go, and then that's it.
And you know what? Also, like, things might pick up funnier in person than they do on television, and I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I feel like a lot of the times when I'm watching Saturday Night Live, like, it really falls flat. There's some go-to characters and sketches that will always be funny. But yeah, a lot of them are usually not good.
So before we put a bow on this,
we got to do our obsessions.
Well, that's where I was going.
Okay, so we're reading each other's minds.
There you go. So, do you have an obsession?
Well, do you have one?
Not that I can think of. Not even a food.
Not even a food. Oh my God. Well, you like the peach ice cream that you made.
I did like the peach ice cream that I made in the Ninja Creamy. That I did. Yeah. But no, I haven't been particularly obsessed with a food or a drink or a TV show or anything this week.
Okay.
No. So
and that's okay.
I'll take a pass. Do you have one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So there's two movies that just came out, and it's like they were just really good, and I became instantly obsessed with them. The first one is the new Bridget Jones
Oh, there's another
Diary.
TV show. Okay.
No, they're movies.
Okay.
They're movies, and
All right.
I'm more of like a TV show watcher, but these are two movies, and I really enjoyed them. Like the first one was the Bridget Jones Diary new movie, and I just have an obsession with Leo Woodall. Like, he was in that movie, and he was a younger guy dating Renee Zellweger in the movie, which has become a really popular trope in Hollywood as of recent. And the second one is called My Fault London, My Fault: London. And if you know the original story, it was originally adapted in Spanish. So the movie was called Culpa Mia, which means my fault in Spanish, and obviously they just came out with the second movie, which is Culpa Tuya, which is your fault.
Okay.
Your fault.
Okay.
But they came out with the same version basically in English, based in London. And I just have to say, the My Fault London version was far superior to me than the Spanish version. And I know the Spanish version has such a cult following, but I think the London one surpassed it. And I might be a little bit biased because I just have a thing for London and British accents, but I really love the two actors who played the leads. I'm obsessed with both of them. I thought they acted in the film really well. And the lead girl, she played an American from Florida in the movie, and I did not know anything about this actress. Like, she was on Broadway beforehand, and she was in a few other on-screen acting roles, but her American accent was amazing, and I didn't know she was British until I heard her in an interview, and I just have to give major props to her. Like, I think it's incredible if I'm like learning about you for the first time on screen and I couldn't tell you were British, or, you know, were putting on an American accent. So kudos to her. Her name is Aisha Banks. She's also an incredible singer. And I also have to say the soundtrack on the film was amazing. I feel like a soundtrack can make or break a film or a TV show, and they nailed the soundtrack. So I'm hoping that they'll make the second and third films, and I'm just excited to see what happens.
All right. Sounds good. And one last thing. All is right with the world. And the reason why I
Why do you
say
say
that
that?
is because Major League Baseball spring training is underway.
It's officially back.
And right now we are about 6 weeks from opening day. We will, just prior to opening day, give our World Series opponent predictions.
Don't do that to me.
Okay, we will.
Don't do that to
I think
me.
I know where Jill is going on this one, but we will wait. We're not going to do it now because who knows? Things can happen between now and opening day, trades, injuries, that kind of stuff.
Are we going to get Juan Soto back?
So, or free agent signings. No, you're not getting Juan Soto back. Sorry.
The other night, I was overhearing the TV on, and I heard the on-air person say Juan Soto at the Mets, and my soul was crushed.
Your heart sank.
My soul was crushed. Like, obviously, I know he's with the Mets, but it doesn't feel real. It's like he's hopping from one team to the next, and if he doesn't win a World Series with them, he says bye-bye. That's how I feel.
No, I think he chased the buck. Anyway.
You know, I'm just salty.
Yeah.
I'm really salty.
Well, time to put the bow on the baby.
All right.
All
Is
right.
that our episode? Yeah?
What?
That's our episode?
That's our episode.
All right, guys.
Whether you like it or not.
We will talk to you next week, and be sure to give you our thoughts on the new season of White Lotus.
And be sure to check us out on YouTube, and please subscribe to our channel.
And follow us on TikTok at Talks to Go Pod, and on our Instagram at Talks to Go Podcast. And with that, we will talk to you again next Wednesday.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.